Well, good damn afternoon, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. What's going on, everybody? What's cracking? Shout out to you all, y'all, in the comment section. I see Endo Slim. Sign it sincerely, Endo Slim, bitch. I see Endo Slim's kicking it off right. Thanks for the Hamilton. You have popped the super chat cherry. You've broken the financial hymen. Look at you. Thank you. He says, sup from Salt Lake City, JG. Just popping cherries, popping cherries, brush. Pimping ain't easy. Love you, man. That's what I hear. I hear it's not easy. You do your thing, Endo Slim. What's going on? Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. Jazz hands. Happy Friday. I hope your work week has been quick and painless. As I've said before, I just want to remind you tomorrow there will be no live stream. As you know, Junior broke his arm, so tomorrow we have to go back and get it scanned again and see if he can get a cast on it, or what kind of time frame we're looking at for healing and all that kind of stuff. So we got to be there first thing in the morning. And as you know, if you've ever had anything to do with the urgent care or ER, it can take a while. So I don't want to be rushed or hurried, trying to get back here in time, because I think it opens at 8. So, if we're looking at 2-3 hours in there, So no live tomorrow. Plus my wife won't be here. So I got to hang out with Junior tomorrow, which is cool. And he's feeling better. Yesterday he was attempting to wrestle. I was like, nope, gotta take it easy, chill out, relax. Don't want you getting hurt again. Daro333 says 12 weeks to heal. I hope not. That's a long time. And it's a break. It's not a serious break. And it's right in the elbow. So I don't know, because elbow, a lot of movement there. So I don't know. I hope it's not hope it doesn't take that long for him to heal. Scott Calais, come on, haters. Haters gonna hate. Niners, boo, Pack attack. Go, Pack, go. No, the Packers are going to do shit. Are you guys playing the Lions? You're about to get rolled. The Lions are playing for real. Lions ain't no joke. They're not the Lions of the past. So, I don't know, man. You got to take those Lions seriously. Well, Jared Goff's doing his thing, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Who else they got over there? They got some people. My career, be quiet. Silence. Seahawks, sea bitches. Misanthrope, you know what's up, man. Bang, bang, Niner gang. So, the Niners about to stomp a mud hole in the Cardinals' asses, the desert bitches, the desert birds. Well, we about to beat the shit out of them. Get that 1 seed, and it's a wrap. Anita Pantoja, go Hawks. Like an actual hawk? Yeah, those are cool. Seahawks from Seattle? No, those are trash. Those are garbage birds. Everybody thinks seagulls are garbage birds. No, Seahawks are fucking trash birds. Seahawks are the alphabet soup group of birds. There you go. JJ Finnegan with that Cowboys nonsense again. Yeah, well, we all make mistakes. But hey, what's up to you guys? Happy Friday. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being up in this bitch. And you know what today is. Today is January 6th. Today is the 2-year anniversary of January 6th. And there's it lasted 3 hours. It wasn't this coup that they wanted it to be, that they tell us that it was, or it was supposed to. Well, they tell us that it was. They tell us that it's the worst thing since 9/11. It was worse than Pearl Harbor. Daryl 333, exactly. RIP Ashley Babbitt. And there's some news about her mom today, which is really fucked up. And then Biden, of course. Do you think Biden would miss the opportunity to just shit on something? Butters, yeah, you damn right. We'll see you in the Super Bowl. Do you think Biden would miss an opportunity to undermine the machine that's been telling us how horrible January 6th was and how horrible the people involved were. So he had some words. I know. Why would you put a microphone in front of that oatmeal brain son of a bitch on a day like this? On the 2-year anniversary of the death of Ashley Babbitt, the only one to lose her life on January 6th, I should say. She was the only one to die. She was murdered by a cowardly Capitol Police officer. And you know what? Speaking of Capitol Police, a couple weeks before that, she was notified by Trump and others that you're going to need more security. There's going to be a big showing of people. And in case something happens, we need the show of force there to stop it. Maybe stop it from happening if they see the show of force, or we have the people there to stop it if it does kick off. But what did Nancy say? No. So you have one of the worst human beings in human history, Hitler. He's a racist. He's an anti-Semite. He's all these horrible things. You know, anybody with access to social media knows there's going to be a huge group of people out there. Everybody knows how the election ended. Everybody knows how he feels about it. And you have an opportunity to stop something bad from happening. And if you knew something was going to happen, planned by the worst person in human history, don't you realize what a hero you would be, Nancy, if you put the boots on the ground, literally and figuratively, to stop something like that, to thwart something like that? Nope. More important that it happens. So she said no. She could have put more security there. She said no. So January 6th happened. They call it worse than 9/11, worse than Pearl Harbor. Biden said, and I quote, "The worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War." Yes, the Civil War, 1861 to 1865, right here in the United States of America. North versus South, American versus American. The numbers of the deaths and the injuries were through the roof. January 6th was worse than this. Facts of the Civil War. Finance. On the home front, the Union had $234 million in bank deposits and coin money or specie, while the Confederates had $74 million and the border states had 29. So even put together, they didn't have shit compared to the North. Okay, enlistment strength. Enlistment strength for the Union Army is 2,672,341, which can be broken down as 2 million so basically 2.4 million white soldiers, 178,000 black soldiers, and 3,500 Native American soldiers fighting for the North. Enlistment strength for the Confederate Army ranges from 750,000 to 1.2 million. Soldier demographics for the Confederate Army are not available due to incomplete and destroyed enlistment records. So it looks like whether they kept track of it or not, there were way more Union soldiers. So the South put up a good fight. The war lasted 4 years with those small numbers. And here we go. Here's my favorite part, or one of my favorite parts. We'll get to my favorite part of all. So this is called Bloodiest Battles. Remember, the only person to die on January 6th was Miss Ashley Babbitt, a veteran of the Air Force, shot and killed by a Capitol Police officer. There were no Capitol Police killed on January 6th. None of them got their brains bashed in with a fire extinguisher. Do some homework if you believe that shit. Bloodiest battles. The bloodiest battles of the Civil War were Gettysburg, 51,116 casualties. 7 days, 36,463 casualties. Chickamauga, 34,624 casualties. Chancellorsville, 29,609 casualties. And Antietam, 22,726 casualties. Now think about that. This isn't the way. This wasn't the way. They didn't fight wars the way they're fought now. Long range, spread out, multiple fronts. Well, they had multiple fronts, but in these battles, you're not going to have a battle today with these sophisticated militaries where that many people are going to die at one time. That's literally the ground being covered with dead people. I remember reading in school part of this book where one of the soldiers, their memoirs and their letters they would send home. And one of the letters said they had a battle that raged into the night. And he woke up. He was knocked unconscious, I think, by a cannon fire or something like that. Something hit next to him, knocked him out. He wakes up at nighttime under some bodies of other soldiers, crawls over to a creek and starts drinking. He's so thirsty. He starts drinking water and drinking water. Then he realizes it's not water. It was a river of blood from all of those dead soldiers in one battle. All of 51,000 at Gettysburg, 22,000, almost 28,000 in Antietam. And you know what was greater than that? January 6th, 3 hours long. Civil War, 4 years. January 6th, 3 hours. Who wins? January 6th, every time. Wesley Snipes said always bet on black. Really, it's always bet on January 6th. Here we go. Casualties. These are all the people who died in the Civil War. January 6th, 1, Civil War. 642,427 total Union casualties have been divided accordingly. 110,100 killed in battle. Double that, more than double that. 224,580 died of diseases. 275,174 died from their wounds they got in action. 30,192 died as prisoners of war. The 483,026 total Confederate casualties have been divided accordingly. 94,000 killed in battle, 164,000 died of disease, 194,026 died from wounds sustained in action, and 31,000 prisoners of war died as prisoners of war, probably starved and beaten to death. Woo! That's a lot of death. That's a lot of killing. That's a lot of dying from disease, lesions, things of that nature. And you know what trumps all that? No pun intended. Trumps. You know what dwarfs that? January 6th. You got it. January 6th dwarfs it. All hundreds of thousands of deaths in the Civil War. Biden said, worst attack on democracy since the Civil War. Worse than 9/11. 3,000 people killed. No, you thought that was something that wasn't shit. J954, thank you. And before I get to this super chat, you sent one yesterday that made it in, but I'd already stopped the live stream, and you asked Braveheart or 300. I thought about this. And again, I'm going to have to say Braveheart, because 300, yes, a war film, very gory and bloody, but it was different. It was CGI. And Braveheart was practical effects. There was no CGI in those battle scenes. And again, Braveheart did it first. Braveheart paved the way. Braveheart hung the little Chinese guy over the side of the mountain with a stick of dynamite to blast a hole in it so they could put a tunnel for the train tracks. That was Braveheart. So, and 300, it was just different. It was a different time, and it wasn't as serious. It was just a different movie. It really was. And I given a choice, I'd watch Braveheart before that. But thank you for this one today. It says January 6th was worse than 9/11, worse than Pearl Harbor. Yet George Floyd Day was peaceful and justified. How do people buy this crap? I don't know, but they buy it by the ton. They buy it Costco style, bulk. Give me all, how much bullshit you got in the back? I'll take it. Give me all your bullshit. Sir, that's a lot of bullshit. Are you sure you could? Give me all your bullshit. Give me all your bullshit. I want to believe it right now. All right, sir. Here you go. So yeah, they love it. Double down, triple down, spread it around. Tell everybody about your bullshit. And if they don't believe it, they're a phobe or an ist, right? Don't forget mygreengear.com. Put that in the there it is. I'll put that in the comment section right now. Raquita Johnson, what's up? She says, I was wondering what your title was about. Shows how much this date stays on my mind. Right? How could you, Raquita, how could you let the most important day in American history slip your mind? You worried about 9/11, you thinking about what it was like that day and the images and all that shit. You got it wrong. Okay? January 6th was the worst day in American history. Worse than the Depression. Worse than 1929. Remember all those people on Wall Street jumping out the fucking window? More people died on that day than January 6th, but January 6th is worse. Huh? You ever seen somebody get a council together about any of that stuff? Didn't they have a 9/11 committee finally after pressure? No pressure needed for this one. No pressure needed for this one, people. This is big. This is friggin' huge. Friggin' huge over here. January 6th, the biggest day of your life. That's right, people. And then, hold on a second. I'm gonna make sure I get this link in here. And then you have the nerve. Bidenus pervertus, our grandpa in chief, Mr. Hey, this isn't the mall. He had the nerve to get over there and say something, to get up there in front of the world and say what he said. And didn't catch it. Went right along with his remarks. Because that's what he does, man. They don't take this shit. They don't take this shit seriously. They want you to take it seriously, but they don't take this shit seriously. Come on now. Come on. So let's check this out. Let's see what happened to Ashley Babbitt's mother today. You know, I'm sure this day is very hard for Ashley Babbitt's mom. It's the day her daughter was killed. Bart, fine, thank you. January 6th could have been the best day in our lives. Could have been. And it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad day. I mean, to see our Capitol stormed like that, yeah, we're not used to those images. That's insane to our eyes. We weren't prepared to see that. There were terrible images. And should those people have done that? No. But should those people be sitting in fucking jail today? No. This was a minor disturbance that should have been handled as such. But they turned it into, or they're trying to turn it into, the worst day in our history. But you just have to look at who's involved. Like a lot of things. Just look at who's involved. That lets you know how serious it was. Leonard S., thank you. Jericho cited numerous statistics. Dems exploit emotions and lies. Man, I stick with the truth because that shit's easy. It's already out there. That's horrible. The Civil War was horrible for a horrible reason, but it needed to be done. But you telling me January 6th, shit's all over that? Come on now. All right, so let's see what happened to Miss Ashley Babbitt's mother today on the second anniversary of her daughter's murder, if we're being honest.
Capitol, now you're going to arrest her?
So that's Ashley Babbitt's mother being arrested. Says executed veteran Ashley Babbitt's mother arrested outside the U.S. Capitol for protesting her daughter's murder by Capitol cop Michael Byrd. Alleged charge was the never enforced jaywalking.
Move to the sidewalk. Move to the sidewalk. If you don't move to the sidewalk, you place on the sidewalk. Move to the sidewalk.
So she's being arrested for jaywalking. Has anyone ever gotten a ticket for jaywalking? Have you ever jaywalked in front of a cop? Did they handcuff you? And if she was jaywalking, then they should have handled it the way they're doing it now. Miss, move to the sidewalk. You can't be here. You got to go to the sidewalk. Did they try that and she refused and then got arrested? I don't know. I don't think she was combative. She didn't look combative. Did we miss that part? Again, videos start on the juicy part, right? But I'm going to assume she wasn't combative. I don't think they had to take her to the ground or anything. She looks like she's cool. But the charge was jaywalking. Wow.
You're blocking traffic. There is no marching out. You're blocking traffic. Move to the sidewalk. Now. I ain't blocking traffic.
You got two vehicles parked in the middle of the street and you're telling him he's blocking traffic.
Move to the sidewalk.
You got two cars.
Now.
2 years ago in the
I did not murder her daughter.
Yes.
Go to the sidewalk. Let's go. Sidewalk now.
Capital. Now you're gonna.
They know who that lady is, and why they would do that, I don't know. But I always give parents more leeway, when it's something about their kid who's been taken from them, who's died or who's been murdered. Like even Biden, with his son Beau, who died. When he's talking about him or anything like that, I give him a pretty wide berth when it comes to that. Now, when he tries to gain sympathy because of that, will feel sorry for me, and try to do something politically with that sympathy. I don't like that, but there's nothing worse that life can give you than to take your child from you, period. And I don't care who you are, how evil you are, how bad you are, how much of a dumbass politician you are, and how much of a commie piece of shit you are. That's the worst thing life can deal out to you. So, this poor lady, that's really fucking terrible what she's dealing with. And the cop who killed her daughter just walked. No remorse, no apology. And you can see the footage. It's not really super gruesome. You don't see a lot of blood, but she's the Capitol police officer who shot her. He's behind a door that's been barricaded. There's some representatives, some other people in there with him. He's behind it, like coming out of a doorway, and there's like furniture and stuff in front of the door. And Ashley Babbitt, because of her petite size, she climbed up there and was going through. There was a glass pane in the door, and she was climbing through it. And she wasn't all the way through. She didn't jump down on the other side and come toward the officer. She didn't have a weapon in her hand. She was literally halfway in. Like maybe her hands are in and she was pulling herself through, but she wasn't even all the way through the door, through that little pane of glass. And the dude shot her in the neck. She falls back, and then people start rendering aid to her. She falls back to the side with that she started from, and they start rendering aid to her, and she died. I just don't see now if she had a weapon in her hand. Like I said, she was small, 5 foot something, 100 some pounds. Had she had a weapon in her hand, like a knife or something like that, yeah, you got to give her the business. I'm not, just because you're a woman, I'm not going to tussle with you and you have a weapon in your hand. I'm a police officer. I'm protecting people. You're advancing toward me with the weapon. I'm going to do what I got to do. But she didn't. She wasn't even all the way through. She wasn't even all the way through the window. Shot her ass. Boom. Killed her. And that was the only person to die that day. They didn't gang up on some officer and bash his fucking brains out with a fire extinguisher. That was bullshit. And those officers who did die died months later. That was terrible. Watch the footage. It's fucking awful, man. It really is. She wasn't even all the way through the window. She wasn't even posing a threat. She didn't have anything in her hands. Man. Diesel says the cop was black. I wonder why nothing happened. Well, damn good and well, if even if she was black, if she was black and the cop was white, the fact that she's on the side of Trump as they see it, they would have, oh, she was this and that. She was a sellout and all this bullshit. They still would have bashed her. It's fucked up. J954, thank you again. Said if that cop was black, if Ashley Babbitt was black, that cop would be in jail. Again, I don't know because she's a conservative. So that being a conservative strips you of all your victimhood. It's the anti-victimhood. It's the water to the oil of victimhood. Can't have them in the same place at the same time. It just don't work on like a cellular level. Dolly Shortcake, thank you for the Hamilton miss. The anger and frustration Ashley's mother must feel for her murder is portrayed as Ashley's fault. Ugh. Yeah, it's true. But you know, that kind of stuff they don't make mainstream, and they should. They should be focusing on the one and only death that happened that day from every angle. And that cop should have been punished for that. There's no reason to shoot that woman. Even if it was a man. If he was coming through, give him some commands. He wasn't even all the way through. That's the thing. She wasn't even all the way through the window. I don't even know. I know in California, if somebody's climbing in your way, if they're in the window, you can't even shoot them. Crazy. MGTOW Michigander, thank you for the Hamilton. I'm curious, how many of you are lone patriots who are surrounded by family members who are all woke? Hopefully this is not you. Jericho, hopefully this is not you, Jericho. I unfortunately fall into this category. My brother, he's not woke, but we differ politically in a few different ways. My mom definitely not. My mom definitely not. My mom is conservative as they come. Former military. She don't play that shit. I got cousins and shit who are woke, but I don't spend a lot of time around them. But yeah, I got family members who are like that for sure, drinking their bullshit cool. Oh yeah. And I only wish that when they were around me, the few times that I do see them, I wish that they would bring some political shit up because I would fucking destroy them. Because all they have is emotion. No facts, no proof, just emotions. I would fuck them up. I would destroy them. Oh, please do that. I wish. Santa Claus, where you at? Let me sit on your lap and ask for something else. Because I would destroy them. Oh, man. And it must be, very frustrating for parents who didn't raise their kids that way. How the fuck did you get like this? I didn't do this to you. Who destroyed you? Who did this to my baby? Charles Turner Jr., thank you for the Hamilton. I can only crack up after seeing the stupid mainstream mediocres go on about January 6th, especially that greasy lip bitch, Donna Lamone, who said, we're going to keep talking about it. We got to keep talking about it till we reach our objective and take as much power as you want, stupids. Fuck them. But they're useless without the dummies who believe them. They're useless. Without the people believing them and spreading this bullshit, they'd be useless. But there's enough people to just feed at the trough of this nonsense. My goodness. Careless. You can't be a man and a liberal at the same time, for sure. You can't do it. Can't do it. Thank you, Spunbrain65, for the Hamilton. Did weeping Adam Kinzinger join CNN? I don't know. That's another thing. All these people who are losing their jobs and shit like that. Don't be surprised if Nancy Pelosi gets a little spot somewhere, or they at least have her on to just, tell us about your time, Nancy. You are such an icon. Oh, you're the best, Nancy Pelosi, the greatest Speaker of the House we've ever had. The greatest. Captain Tight Pinkman. I remember January 6th. I was walking through blood and bone trying to find my brother. Yeah, it was like the scene of fucking the opening scene. Was it the opening scene? Yeah, of Saving Private Ryan. With the guy, there's no sound, just that beep, that ee in his ears from the bomb that went off next to him, and he's holding his arm, and he's just standing there dazed, shell-shocked. That's what January 6th was like. If you watch Saving Private Ryan, take that scene and put it on the Capitol building, it's the same thing. You couldn't tell the difference. Same thing, same body count, same level of destruction. It's all the same. January 6th was the worst. Hashtag the worst. January 6th, ill. Right? So let's check in with the lead dummy and see what he had to say about this day. Worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War. This is it, guys. This is it. You make a list of worst days in American history. This is it. What do you say, Sloppy Joe?
Fully consequential, not a joke. If I can halt for a second and just say to you, the impact what happened on July the 6th had international
I'm sorry, when?
repercussions beyond what I think any of you can fully understand. Fully consequential, not a joke. If I can halt for a second and just say to you,
We said it's not a joke. That's telling us what you're saying, what you're about to say, or what you just said is bullshit. It's not a joke. If I'm telling you, so hey, I do not stick bananas up my ass on Wednesday night. Wait, what? Why would you say that? Then that means you stick bananas up your ass on Wednesday nights. There's no need to say that. Why would you even say that? You feeling guilty?
The impact what happened on July the 6th had international
On July the 6th. So did something else happen on July the 6th? I thought it was July the 4th. So something happened on January 6th and July 6th? July 6th? This is new to me. What's July 6th?
repercussions beyond what I think any of you can fully understand. Fully consequential.
Wait a minute. You're telling us what we can't understand? Okay.
Not a joke. If I can halt for a second and just
July, listen to him. He says July 6th.
say to you, the impact what happened on July the 6th had international repercussions beyond what I think any of you can fully understand.
Well, what happened on July 6th? That's new to me. He said it had international repercussions beyond anything I think any of you could understand. So not only did you fuck up and call it July 6th, you have the nerve to be condescending and tell us it's beyond our comprehension? When you haven't said a full sentence since 2005? You haven't gotten through a sentence without issue since 2005, and you're telling me that I can't comprehend it. Okay, one more time. I just want to be sure because we're so focused on this January 6th shit that we didn't even see July 6th coming.
Consequential, not a joke.
Uh-huh.
If I can halt for a second and just
Please halt.
say to you, the impact what happened on July the 6th had international repercussions beyond what I think any of you can fully understand.
Beyond what I think any of you could fully understand, you morons, you dumbasses. July 6th was on another level. It had international repercussions that's beyond what I think any of you could fully comprehend. You son of a bitch. He doubled down. He said, y'all are so dumb you won't even understand it, fool. July 7th, July 6th was some other shit. You talk about 4D chess, this man is playing 5D chess. He said, no. You idiots are focused on January 6th over here. You motherfuckers didn't even see July 6th over here. Shinobi, come on, man. You know the July thing. It's that July thing, baby. Bryant Lawson, thank you. Answering your Joker pregnant question, Zatanna cast a spell that went wrong. No one ever have your babies. She says her spell's backwards. Oh, that's how he got pregnant. Okay. Good, because I thought there were fluids involved. But thanks for that. Not a joke. Bam Bam Bigelow, not a joke. So was other comments a joke? I don't know, man. I don't know. July 6th is some shit that I don't think you guys can fully understand. What you know about July 6th, fool? Damn, dude. I'm sorry. All the shit I've been talking about you and your cognitive ability and your cognitive decline, I was wrong. I apologize. I'm man enough to apologize when I'm wrong. And apparently, I am wrong. Because I'm over here, I've been talking shit about Joe Biden since he was running for president back in 2020. So I apologize. I've been wrong. This whole time he's been 1, 2, 3 steps ahead of us. And apparently in this case, he's been 6 months ahead of us. Do you guys know what it's like to be 6 months behind? You're 6 months. You guys are stuck on January 6th. Stupid. You don't even know the shit that happened on July 6th. What the fuck? And it was a slow build to it. There were pauses. He's like, hold on a second. Now, what I want to say is a slow build. So when you're doing a slow build to a point, you have time to think about the word you're saying to emphasize your point. In those pauses, you're in your mind, you're putting your sentence together. You're putting your point together. So you slowed it down. You even slowed it down. And I didn't know you could get any slower. And you slowed it down and you still fucked it up and didn't catch it. And if this is some regular January 6th sloppy Joe, I wouldn't trip. You know, what did the dude who got his chain snatched on Friday? He told Debo, man, you know, I wouldn't even trip. You know, if you were sloppy Joe, if you were talking about a regular January 6th, I wouldn't even trip. But you ain't talking about a regular January 6th. You were talking about the worst day in American history. January 6th. It will live in infamy. That's what you told me. That's what you keep telling me. But apparently, July 6th was fucked up too. Spunbrain65, thank you again. Not a joke. Swinging Mike can't stand Barry for 10 years. I saw that shit. So hold on, I was trying to do some math. Okay, you guys know I went to public school, so help me along. But their daughters were 5 and 7 when Obama became president. And she said she couldn't stand him for 10 years before he became president because of the kids and work and stuff. So were there 5 years that you just couldn't stand him, period, before the kids, before that added pressure on your relationship, before he started running for president with that added pressure? There had to be 5 years that you couldn't stand his ass, at least, for the math to work out, because the kids were less than 10 years old. So there had to be some time when it was just you and Barry where you just couldn't stand his ass. And to not be able to stand your spouse for 10 years? Sounds to me like that relationship's dead. You guys are just floating through life like one of those old screensavers where the ball would just float, boop, bounce off the bottom of the screen, go up to the top, boop, bounce off the corner. You guys are just floating through life, floating through this marriage. And if you can't stand somebody, you're probably not going to have sex with them. At least from the woman's standpoint. A man, we can do that, right? I don't gotta like you at the time. We can handle this because it won't take, you know? So if you can't stand somebody, because that's what she said, she couldn't stand him. I can't stand you. She couldn't stand him for 10 years. So if you have, out of that 10 years, if you can't stand somebody, you're probably not having a regular sex life. But you got to get it somewhere. And as the owner of a penis, Mike knows you got to get it somewhere. So I don't know what he like go up behind Barry. Come here. Oh, stop, Mike. You know, take off his apron. Come here. I don't know how it worked. But if you can't stand somebody, you don't have a very healthy sex life. So if you ain't having sex at home, if you ain't eating at home, you're eating somewhere. All right? All right. And that's what she said. That's what the retired power forward Mike Obama said. Those are his words, or her words. You never know these days. Tyron Neal, thank you very much. Hi, Mr. Green. Love your show. I think our president is going back to when he attended the signing of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Yeah, he was about 500 years old then? 450 years, something like that. And I'm sure all these events through history he's been present for, I'm sure it all just blurs together. There are no more boundaries in between his thoughts. It's all just all stirred up in there. So yeah, Declaration of Independence, the War of 1812, all that shit just gets stirred around in there. He's been there for it all. If you were around for that many major events, they get confused inside your head too. They get all turned around, huh? Bart, fine. Thank you again. All first ladies are transformers except Melania, bro. I mean, Barbara Bush, I don't know, man. She was old as hell. Then you got Laura Bush, but definitely starting Clinton. Yeah, I could see that. Clinton, Clinton, not Laura. Mike, yeah, for sure. And Jill Biden. It's possible. But she's a nurse. She's not just a first lady. She's a nurse, too. An orderly. She wipes the drool off his chin. This way, sir. This way. Joe, time for your medicine. You know what I mean? Oh, that wasn't very nice, careless. He said Michelle Embiid. What's the dude from the Warriors? Draymond Green, Michelle Green. Oh, MGTOW, Michigander. I'll get it right one of these days. Thank you again. If Jake Tapper asked Biden if he's finally willing to take a cognitive test, his response would be, "No, come on, Dad." Like my dad used to say in Scranton. Man, could you imagine if they gave his ass a cognitive test? Oof. Oof. He wouldn't make it. Somebody be in his earpiece. Say this, say that. They wouldn't even show you the results. It would be the same as when Trump told Elizabeth Warren, yeah, take a blood test. And she goes, okay. Fucking idiot. You know, before the dude swabbed her cheek, he was like, are you sure you want to do this? Yeah, I'm sure. Bart, fine. Thank you again. Barbara Bush's real name is Bob. I mean, you know, she was a short little stocky thing. It's possible. But we know for sure that Mike, you know, two bulges in that house. You know what I mean? Oof. Oof. Max Bang, thank you. Happy July 6th, American citizens. Yeah, man. So you guys got shit now. We got July 4th to celebrate, and then you got a day to, you know, clean everything up and restock that fridge, because then you got a party again on July 6th. You got July 4th and July 6th now. Shit. July just got packed. You know, the summer, that's the dry spell. Ain't nothing going on in June. Ain't nothing, or except for Juneteenth. My bad. And then August, ain't shit going on in August yet. The Alphabet Soup Group hasn't commandeered that month yet. So, you know, wasn't a lot going on in the summer. It's just July 4th, really. But now you got July 6th, too. Shit. Thanks for letting us know, Sloppy Joe. Motherfucker said July 6th. One more time.
Consequential. Not a joke.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
If I can halt for a second and just say to you, the impact, what happened on July the 6th had international repercussions beyond what I think any of you can fully understand.
The nerve. The nerve. I think it's beyond anything any of you could fully understand. You son of a bitch. The nerve. Not only am I going to mess this up and lie to you, you too damn stupid to understand it. Oh my goodness. The arrogance, the arrogance. These people. Aaron M., don't forget White History Month. Don't you say that. That's racist. That's racist, B. You can't say that. You know, White History Month. Like I've said before, guys, they don't want equality. They want easy. They want easy. They want that step ladder in front of the wall. You know, everybody else, you got to get a running start, climb over it, use your muscles. No. They just want that step ladder. Thank you. They're going to be right on the podium next to you. You're sweating. They're chilling. They're on their phone. Hashtag doing duck face on the podium next to you. You're drinking Gatorade. Nope. They got to ride. You run into the finish line. They're on a golf cart. And they want the same praise and adulation as you. Who was it? Who the fuck was it? Oh, yeah. They said, what's that dude's name? Moby Dick. Thomas, the dude who decided to tuck and be on the women's swim team. Remember that? They said that he is basically Jackie Robinson and needs to be treated as such. Jackie Robinson. So imagine the walk that Leon Thomas, whatever his fucking name was, the walk he has from the pool to the locker room versus the walk that Jackie Robinson had from the field to his locker room. Who would you rather have been in terms of insults heard? Who would you rather be, the Ku Klux Trans member in 2022 or Jackie Robinson in 1946? We're just talking insults. Who do you think had a rougher time getting to the locker room? Huh? You think you think maybe Leonard Thomas had or Thompson, whatever his name is? You mean to tell me he probably hasn't signed a Ku Klux Trans flag or two on the way there? Oh, Leah, you're so this and that. Yay. Huh? You think Jackie Robinson was signing any fucking Klan hoods? Yay, Jackie, you're awesome. You're the best, Jackie. No, I don't think so. Jackie probably heard an N-word or two. Boy, especially from the team that he beat. You think their fans were happy? Who's throwing anything at Leonard Thomas? What do they throw at him? Flowers? What do you think they threw at Jackie Robinson in 1946? Fuck out of here. Spunbrain65, thank you again. KJP went braless and it worked to distract everyone. Randall Hill, 1946 was a good year. It was. Even for black folks, 1946 was a good year. You're talking about crime rate, home ownership, business ownership, intact families, nuclear families. Yeah, it was. But Jericho, it was just racism in America for black people until 2020. No. Look at the numbers. Look at the damn numbers. Damn shame. Motherfucker said July 6th. Yeah, Sloppy Joe. That's our boy. That's our boy. On January 6th, he says, no, it's July 6th, fool. It's July 6th. And those people who are still in jail. The people who are still sitting in jail to this day for that nonsense. And the committee. So they get this committee together. They make this big deal about the committee. They are going to seek justice because, you know, they love justice. Justice is for everything has justice. Racial justice, economic justice. Environmental justice. I mean, who wants justice? Huh? Just put a word in front of it, and then that's justice. So they were going to get justice for America, I guess. That's who they were going to get it for. And they're going to get to the bottom of it. They're going to get to the bottom of the atrocities of January 6th, the broken furniture of January 6th, the stolen podiums of January 6th, the broken windows of January 6th. Were they going to get justice for Ashley Babbitt? Why would they do that? Why would they get justice for the only person killed on January 6th? So they weren't there to get justice for Ashley Babbitt. Then who are they there to get justice for? Themselves? This is finally their way to get Trump out of the White House, to finally impeach the bad orange man, because that's been their mission from day one. That has been their mission from day one. Since the day he got inaugurated, their mission was to get him out of office by any means necessary. Nothing else was important. Rebel Without a Reason, January 6th, the movie. You know, speaking of movies, you need cameras to make movies. So where are all the camera angles? You know, every square inch of that fucking place has cameras on it, because they can't have you icky, disgusting taxpayers sneaking up in there before they have a chance. They got to know you're coming so they can put all the shit away. So you know every square inch of that place is covered by a camera. So where's all the footage? You guys leak all kinds of other shit. California knows how to leak all the concealed people with concealed carry permits. All these companies know how to leak your shit. Oh, our bad. We just released the social security numbers of 150,000 Americans. Whoops. Whoops. How do you spell whoops? So who gives a fuck? Aaron M. Jericho, did you see some counties across the U.S. are becoming constitutional counties? I don't blame them, because they see they see that the emperor has no brains. They're not going to come help them, because some of them probably messed around and became conservative, so they can't help you. You're a conservative. You're a Republican. Ew. There's no help coming. Joe Biden, Sloppy Joe, is the equivalent of if you took a chicken and cut its head off and let it run wild throughout the White House, spurting blood everywhere. That's the same thing. When they look at the federal government, when they look at D.C., there's just some dude in there running around doing nothing, crazy. They're not going to get any help, so they're taking it upon themselves. And they'll be better for it. They will be better for it. Don't wait for somebody to come save your ass. Do it yourself. Ingrid De La Rosa, she says, naive Trump. Yeah, I have mentioned this yesterday. I think he made a lot of mistakes the first time around. But just like, what's that group? Shalimar. Second time around. Shout out to Jody Watley. Second time around. I hope he does things differently. The first thing he should have done was fire everyone. Everyone. If you worked for the last administration, this is your last day. We've partnered with so-and-so to supply us with some boxes, fill it up with your shit, and get out. Like my dad would say, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. Out of here. Bye. But I didn't. Bye. See ya. Because that was a lot of it. I didn't understand how he could look at the last administration and the horrible job they did, because that's most of what he talked about on the campaign trail. Bashing Hillary, she's part of it. So why would you let any of those people stick around? Did he think that they had good in their heart and they just needed a different leader and they were going to work differently and they were going to believe differently? I don't know. He obviously doesn't have a problem firing people. He got quite famous off of doing just that. So firing people is not worried about, I feel bad. And I don't think that's a problem for him. But all those motherfuckers should have went on the first day. There should have been a line of people out of the White House. See ya. But he didn't do that. And he made other mistakes too. So, Anthony DeRosa, are you trying to be funny? So the 49ers are better than the Niners, just like the Eagles are so much better than the Eagles. I half expected him to go after that. Somebody throw his ass a Scooby snack. The Eagles. What the fuck is wrong with that, dude? Good job, Pennsylvania. Good job. I mean, I know our senator ain't shit. Our senator is like twice the age of yours. Dianne Feinstein, or one of them. And our other senator, Anthony Weiner. I mean, is it me, or you just have a little less trust in somebody if their last name's Weiner? Oh, it just throws me off. Your last name's Weiner? I mean, a certain job you should have if your last name's Weiner. But yeah, Scott Weiner is a real wiener, and he's into some perverted shit. But January 6th, and today you're just going to be flooded with, if you frequent certain news outlets, it's just going to be, the worst day ever. They might as well all wear veils. They're probably going to all have black veils on, even the guys, of course. Rex Rocker. It's Weiner. It ain't Weiner. It's Scott Weiner. It's not Dirk. It's Dirte. But, they're all going to have veils on. It's just going to be the fucking church organ. January 6th. So sad. All dressed in black. Worst day ever. Worst day. All that other stuff with the buildings coming down and they're attacked on Sunday and the ships in the harbor. No. Fuck all that. Fuck all that. That's, that's small. That's peanuts. That's peanuts compared to January 6th. J954, thank you again. Hold up. Y'all got Weiner, Feinstein, and Newsom? WTF. That's right. The Three Stooges. We sure got them. Dianne Feinstein is old as fuck. Let's see. I think she's in 91? 92? Yeah, I'm sorry, none the miser. You mean July 6th? Yeah, July 6th is fucked up. January 6th is cool, but July 6th? Should have blown your mind. Dianne Steinfein. Oh, she's 89. So she's been a senator of California since 1992. So she's 6 years older than Maxine Waters. 5 years older. Maxine Waters is 84. She was born in 1938. She was born 10 years before the television was invented. 84. Why the fuck you want to work at 84 years old? I mean, yeah, if you're doing some kind of work where you're making shit, you're whittling wood or making fucking leather shoes, I don't know. Or you've been making pizza dough. Hey, he's been making fucking pizza dough right here since like 1932. That's one thing. We're talking about a congresswoman or a senator. That's a fast-paced schedule. You got places to go, people to do, and the easy ones twice. Traveling, events, speeches. And you want to do this shit in your 80s? Dianne Feinstein is kissing 90 in the ass right now. And she put in her paperwork to run for senator again. So when she ends this term, she'll be 91. And she put in papers to run for senator at 91 years old. So that means if she served another term, she would be 95. I don't want a 95-year-old doing anything for me. How about that? Let me let me tell you this shit. I'm trying to tell you a story. So, oh man, when was this? This must have been like 3 or 4 years ago, right? It was like a mole or something that I had. And I got it removed. And you get them frozen off or whatever. And so my wife says, yeah, go to this dermatologist. She was right around the corner from where I worked. Her name was Dr. Friend. And so I go in the office, right? No, it was like behind. Mitch Connor says, "You got a neck, buddy?" No, it was like behind my ear or something. And I go in there, and I'm in the waiting room, and I go. I never seen her before. My wife just made the appointment, and I went. And I go in the doctor's office, and she comes in, and she's this old ass lady. She was like at least 85. She was old as shit. Like, I half expected her to come in like, oh, they didn't tell me you were a colored fella, right? She was old as shit. She was back when the doctor's office was right next to the barn. Cocaino's wood shop. Yeah, screw your freedom. There's no place here. So she's old as shit. And she comes in, she does her thing, and her hands all shaky and shit. Here's the funniest shit about it. She's doing the procedure and she's farting the whole time. But she ain't looking back. Oh, excuse me, nothing. She don't even know it. She don't even know it. She don't even know that she's farting right now. So she's fuck. I don't want to get that old. That is how old Bidenus Pervertus is. Oscar Gonzalez, it didn't smell. Strangely enough, I was expecting it. I was bracing myself for it. Nothing. Just old people gases. I don't fucking know. It was just... So when you're that old, step aside, please. Get out of here. No, twilight of your life. Enjoy yourself. AC, thank you. I can't wait to see Feinstein's OnlyFans page. I can wait till right after the day I die to see that page. Ugh. Dude. You know that clam has seen it. Maxine Waters was born 10 years before the television was invented. And she's still a congresswoman? How is that? How are you performing your duties at the highest level when you're 84 years old? With that kind of job. When you get into that age, it's time to step back. There's certain things we don't want you doing at 84 or 89 years of age. Do you want an 89-year-old doctor cutting you open? Huh? You want an 89-year-old dentist fumbling around in your mouth? Oh, sorry, son. I dropped my ring in my class ring from World War II in your throat. Come on, dog. Get out of here with that. Stop it. Right off into the sunset. Get on your little, what do you call them, the little rascal? Remember those commercials and they go on their little motorized scooters to the edge of the Grand Canyon? Take your little rascal and go home. Nico Giorgio, Hit the damn like button, Americans. End of quote. Repeat the line. Thanks, Nico. Enjoying your retirement, Nico? Huh? Yeah. J954, again, thank you. Farting is great. I Dutch oven my cowboy fan girlfriend. Well, she deserves it. All cowboy fans should be Dutch oven until they vomit. Because that's what you get for being a fan of the Cowboys. Ugh. Mike Griffith, you're right. You can't go wrong with Jericho Green and the Hodge twins. That'd be a good one, man. I think that'd be a good show because those dudes are hella funny, man. I like the Hodge twins. I think I could definitely hang with those dudes on the show. Seem to be cool dudes. I mean, my goodness. When you that old, stop. Go enjoy yourself. You want to do all this work and then what? As the day after you retire, you die? Man, please. Aaron M says, Jericho, did you see Fleckus Talks has a dog-faced pony soldier toy that you can buy? That dude's funny too. I like him because he goes to these stupid-ass events, like in downtown LA and shit, this March or that March, sticks a microphone in their face. Why are you here? And what do they say half the time? I don't know. I don't know. What rights do you want that you don't have? I don't know. And they get to vote just like me and you. Their vote counts the same as me and you. That ain't right. That is not right. My career, I wonder if she still calls it a television set. Yeah, she probably calls it a picture box. Fix the antennas on the picture box. I'm sorry, guys. You call me whatever you want. I don't want to be doing shit at 84 years old. I don't want to be doing nothing. J954, thank you again. JG on Joe Rogan. Can we make this happen, please? Oh, that'd be tight. I can hang with Joe Rogan too. And when you're on somebody else's platform, it's different. There's no pressure. Not that it's like, oh, fuck, I got a live stream today. It's not like that kind of pressure, but it's your show. It's your product. Your name is on it. So when you're a guest, of course, you're going to respect the person who invited you on there by, being on your best behavior and being the best guest that you can be, but it's not your show. You're just a guest. It's like when you go to somebody's house. It's different. Like if you host something versus going to somebody else's house. If you're hosting, it's different. You have the pressure. Make sure everybody's having a good time. Make sure there's enough to eat, blah, blah, blah. But when you're attending, you don't do shit. You're waiting on. Can I get you more of this? Can I get you more of that? Just right over here. Put your shoe there. Here, hang your coat. It's different. Same when you're on somebody else's platform. So to have that, not have that pressure or whatever that is, we have a good old time. Tupelo honey. You mean Tupelo? Are you mean the same as dadgum Tupelo, Mississippi? Do we really believe these people are actually winning elections at that age? They sold their souls. Hell yeah, they did. Hell yeah, they did. The goat picture with the fingers like this and shit. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, they did. Every week they're going to the damn parties, having orgies with the blood of dead Chinese soldiers poured on top of them. Poured on top of their leathery, writhing bodies. There it is, Nancy. You're a little old for my taste, but whatever, we're here. It's just some sick shit. Some sick shit. Mandy Westcott, Jericho, and then Theo Vaughn. That dude's the way he words things is hilarious. It's an art form. It's an art form. He said something. I saw a clip where he was being serious for once. And he said he knew these white kids in his neighborhood that were so poor that at night they put a piece of plywood over the kitchen sink and one of the kids slept on it. I was like, what? I'm sorry, what? They put a piece of plywood over the sink so one of the kids could sleep on it. Golly. I was like, shit, man, that's poor as fuck. There's people in Ethiopia like, damn, they slept on the sink? Yeah, man. Jason M. Schmidt, AOC's warm, it's super loaded. She can have my fucking baby, man. Mitchell McNeely says, I slept in the closet. Damn. Damn. I'm so glad that I didn't grow up poor like that. Brandon Hill says he grew up poor. My dad grew up poor, so I think that's why I didn't grow up poor. My dad, poor as shit. And not like the poor people we have now who got EBT cards and bullshit like that. I'm talking about real poor people. So I think that's why I didn't. I think my dad was like, well, my kids aren't going to be dealing with that bullshit. And, you know, my kids aren't growing up poor either. So, damn, it's crazy. Mandy Westcott, the dude is so authentically funny. And you could tell Theo Von, he's funny from the bad shit he lived through. Like he was shaped into that. That his comedy comes from living through some bad shit. And I think that goes for anybody who's funny. Mitchell McNeely says, we weren't poor. I just slept in the closet. I just like to be in there. I had this big ass room with posters and shit, but I slept in the closet. Anybody who's funny, they had some kind of trauma when they were younger, because you deal with it, and I don't mean like trauma, like they mean trauma, but you know, some bad shit happened, and that's one of the ways you deal with it, with humor. So that's what I think. Yeah, Nate DZ 502. Theo Von grew up in the hood for real. Yeah, man, he really did in Louisiana. He grew up poor as shit. My dad grew up poor in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Luke Ledley, JG on Mike Tyson hotboxing. Oh, that'd be cool. I love to meet Mike Tyson. And I want to meet him when he's nice and subdued and high. J954, thank you again. All this darkness. Can we be funny for a minute? Better Eddie Murphy movie. Trading Places are coming to America. I was poor too, by the way. Bootstrapped it up. Let's see. Better movie. Eddie Murphy Trading Places are coming to America. Oh, shit. That's a tough one, man. They both hold special places in my heart. Man. Derek Molino, yeah, look at Richard Pryor. Yep, right there. He grew up in a whorehouse in Peoria, Illinois. He grew up in a whorehouse where men would ask, hey, you seen your mama? Where's your mama? But back to the most critical question we've had thus far. Better Eddie Murphy movie, Trading Places, or Coming to America? Shit. That is a good one, because those are both iconic, hilarious movies. Yeah, because I'm a karate man. I bruise on the inside. But see, you wouldn't know nothing about that because you're a big Barry White looking motherfucker. Brewster's Millions. That was another good one. A slept on classic, Brewster's Millions. He had 30 days to spend $30 million. And if he had nothing to show for it at the end, he would get $300 million. And it's hard to spend $30 million in 30 days. I see a lot of people. Kelly says my mom's mom made her sleep under the house when she didn't do a chore. Golly, fuck, that's horrible. I wouldn't want to go under a house right now as a grown man. Let's see, man. I don't know. Fuck. Coming to America was so damn funny, but Coming to America was more of an ensemble cast for sure. You know, you had Arsenio Hall, that was his partner. James Earl Jones, Samuel L. Jackson, all these people, Louis Anderson, all these guys playing these parts, man. So pure Eddie Murphy movie, even though Dan Aykroyd, Jamie Lee Curtis, you know, in Trading Places, but that was an Eddie Murphy movie. I'm gonna have to go with Trading Places. I mean, you can't go wrong. If you were told you can only have one of these movies on a deserted island for a month, you'd be happy either way. That's right, Anthony DeRosa. Sexual Chocolate. Give it up for Rem Brown. He's been my Rem since I was a little boy. He kissed him on the cheek and he like looked down and wiped that shit off. I believe the children are our future. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Give them a sense of pride. I decided long ago. Can't take away my dignity. Because a great S. Oh, come on, man. That movie is so fucking funny. Careless, what'd you say? No, you didn't. Bring that comment back here. What the fuck did you just type? Careless. Life is Eddie Murphy's best movie. I'm going to give you a chance to delete that comment. Don't you dare. By the time Eddie Murphy made Life, he had already made his greatest movie. Take either ones we just talked about. Trading Places was better than that. Coming to America was better than that. Nutty Professor was better than that. Harlem Nights. Come on, dog. You can't be serious. You're just trying to start some shit. You're just trying to be play. You can just see if we can get this play party started, aren't you? Because that, sir, is what you call an inflammatory statement. Life, and I've only seen Life once. But come on. That's his greatest movie? No fucking way. No way. Lord German Husbando, Daddy Daycare. That was a good one. Daddy Daycare was a good one, especially for his newer movies. No, Daddy Daycare, that was a good one. People sleep on that one. That was a good movie. A good message, too. Anthony DeRosa, Dave Chappelle is Reggie. Oh, man. Women be shopping, baby. You cannot stop a woman from shopping. Oh, when he started clowning him and shit. Oh, fuck. Weapon X, 48 Hours of Beverly Hills Cop. Definitely Beverly Hills Cop. 48 Hours was good. It was good. Holy man, come on. It was good. But no, Beverly Hills Cop was a shit. Come on, Victor Maitland. Is Victor Maitland here? Are you the man who racked the buffet at the Herald Club this morning? Yeah, Beverly Hills Cop was a shit. What's his name? Harry Faltmeyer? Something like that. He did Beverly Hills Cop and he did the music for Tango and Cash, Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell. And Beverly Hills Cop was originally written for Sylvester Stallone, and he passed on it. And they gave it to Eddie Murphy. But would it have been the same if Sylvester Stallone was in it? No. Eddie Murphy made that shit. I'm glad it happened that way. Hey, don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. No, I wouldn't have been. Nah. Yeah, Tango and Cash. Cocaino's Woodshop. Tango and Cash sucked. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. But as a kid, seeing the commercial with that fucking souped up truck SUV thing with the guns on the side, I was like, oh yeah, sign me up. Sign me up for that. Space Trucking LLC. Thank you for the Hamilton, sir. Sup, JG? Happy Aloha Friday. Grew up on the bucket showers, outhouses, and filtered water. And by filtered, I mean changing the cloth over the spigot every week. Wouldn't have it any other way, man. Yeah, I'm sure that made the finer things in life that much sweeter once you attained them coming from that. And good for you that you've now left that behind you. And you are now shitting in tall cotton. J954 again, thank you. Best Rambo movie. See, the Rambo movies, throw out part 3. Part 3 was shit. Why'd they do that? No more. I've seen part 3 one time when I was a kid. No way. Never watch it again. The first Rambo, come on, he's in town. What's to do? Brian Dennehy. Brian Dennehy was an asshole. All he wanted was something to eat. He told him, he said, let it go, or I'll give you a war that you won't believe. Come on. He could eat things that'll make a billy goat puke. Richard Crenna, old sweet Dick Malone, is Rambo 3 in Afghanistan? Yeah, man. They had Rambo on horseback. I'm done. Count me out. Rambo, horseback, I'm out. But that for the first Rambo, First Blood, he said, let it go. And then all of them okey doke, deputy sheriffs and shit, volunteer sheriffs went up there in the forest to find him, man. He had them booby traps going and shit, fucked his dogs up. Had the one where because these were all booby traps that he saw in Nam. He had that stick with all the bamboo sticks in it, and they tripped the wire, and it came and just swung and stuck in his thigh like a 6-inch sharpened piece of wood, went through this dude's thigh. And one guy, it went through his fucking kneecap. Fucking 4-inch, 2 4-inch spikes through either side of your kneecap. Yeah, the Shinobi, the punji sticks. Come on, man. Fuck. But I would have to say the first Rambo was the best one because off the strength of the first one, the second one was the J954, where we led the mercs into the jungle and shit, the prison camp. That's part 2. But because part 1 was so successful, part 2 was more mainstream, so it's going to get a little more unbelievable. You had the Russians involved with the gunship and the explosions, but Rambo First Blood Part 2 was the first one I saw as a kid. That came out in 1985 when I was a little kid. The first one came out in 82. So when Rambo Part 2 came out, by the time it made it to video back in the day, I was like, what, a year? So it was like 86, 87. I was a little kid. I was just getting into my action movie phase. So I didn't see Rambo Part 1, the very first one, until I was older. But Part 2, dude, that was the shit. You drop him in the jungle to go find his Vietnam buddies, or find, Vietnam soldiers that were POWs. And then he got one of the guys and rescued him to bring him back. And they hover over him. The rescue helicopter just hovers over him. And Murdoch tells him, leave him there, leave him, get out, come back home. So they leave Rambo. They're running from soldiers. Got the dog, the Malinois and shit, going after him in the jungle. They outrun all these dudes, shooting, running, and gunning. Here's the helicopter to save them. And then the helicopter just takes off and leaves them to be recaptured by the Viet Cong and the Russians. The Russians were involved too. They were helping the Viet Cong. Man. So now you take this dude back to camp. So let the torturing begin. But the coldest line in that movie, Rambo First Blood Part 2, is when they tell him to call his comrades, the same guy who was Victor Maitland, the bad guy in Beverly Hills Cop. He plays the bad guy in Rambo. And he says, call them. And he wanted to call him and tell him, he had a message written out that he wanted him to tell his superiors back at the base. And so he calls them and he says, what is it? I can't remember what he said. God, I can't remember the call letters and shit. But he calls him and he says, Murdoch. And Murdoch's the guy who called off the rescue helicopter. He said, Murdoch, I'm coming to get you. That was cold. Because it zooms in and just does a close-up on his mouth. And he grips the microphone. Murdoch, I'm coming to get you. And that's when he starts beating the shit out of people and he escapes again. Oh, man. Well, you heard the alarm go off, or maybe you didn't, but that means I got to go pick up Junior. So I got to go pick him up. I'm going to hang out. Tomorrow I'm going to take him to the doctor, see what the x-ray says, maybe get him a little cast so we can get a little more mobile. I'll keep you guys updated. Thank you for being here. Happy Friday. The work week is over. Enjoy yourself. It's a celebration. Take your pants off as long as you're at home. If you listen to me in the car or in public in your ear pods or something, keep your pants on till you get home. When you get home, take them bad boys off. You earned it. Okay? You were great. I was great. We were great. Happy January 6th, everybody. Say it with me, damn it. You know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe. Hit that. Sweet Dick Malone. Haven't worn pants in months. I respect that, man. Hit that notification bell because every time it rings, a piece of shit lefty cries. Utilize the Linktree link. Get your ass over to JerichoGreen.net and mygreengear.com. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.